Crypto's in one big scary bear market right now that's threatening to destroy us all. But as bad as things seem, you might have recently noticed this tweet from an analytics firm. Cardano is crypto's most developed asset. That's quite the claim. But with GitHub indicating a high level of project activity, could Cardano be the hope that this bear market needs? I'm a long-time investor of Cardano myself, so I needed to find out. I've built this entire research report that dives into the interesting projects being built on Cardano right now. That way we can determine if this will really change everything. And by the way, this entire research report will be available on my membership site, Finova. There we have entire money-making courses free with your membership, a massive community of investors, and live coaching every single day aimed at helping you, yes, you take control of your own finances. Plus, you can grab a free trial linked down below. Now, we need just a little bit of context here. Cardano is a general purpose blockchain. It's kind of like an operating system. It's a platform where applications can be built on top. Cardano is powered by a little thing called the Ouroboros Consensus Protocol, named after that snake eating its own tail. Ouroboros is a proof of stake protocol. So instead of mining for coins, users stake their coins as a show of good faith in the system. Like, hey, I'm investing in this thing, so I want it to run smoothly, which makes sense. Most people tend to avoid self-sabotage. Unlike that time I let my girlfriend order pizza. Who does that? Cardano's primary currency is a coin called ADA, named after the mother of computing, Ada Lovelace. At the very least, they're great at choosing names. Now, some refer to Cardano as Crypto 3.0, a step up from current projects. Others take it to the extreme and call it the Ethereum killer. In a 2021 interview, Cardano's founder claimed it was 1.6 million times more energy efficient than Bitcoin, which is not a small number. But with that background out of the way, what are the projects that are being created within Cardano's ecosystem right now? Because this is what really matters. The businesses creating value in crypto. And can they defeat this bear market? First off, there's more than 1,000 projects being built on Cardano, 1,003 by my last count. You'll immediately see that almost half of these are NFT collections though. So no doubt, most of them are promising to dominate the metaverse, go to the moon, and do it for the culture. But beyond this, there's a fairly even distribution of project types, including stablecoins, gaming, marketplaces, and developer tools. However, in my breakdown, I found that some of the most interesting projects don't fall within one common category. The first is what I consider to be the most practical Web3 business, decentralized exchanges, or DEXs for short. Interestingly, they only make up 3.8% of Cardano's entire ecosystem. DEXs are non-custodial crypto exchanges where transactions occur directly between traders. This has some incredible implications. The main one being that it kicks banks, brokers, and payment processors to the curb. There's no middleman and no one has control of your crypto. So yeah, while a whole lot of Web3 projects promise to change the game, DEXs already do. This is already a thing. The first of these Cardano projects is MinSwap. Now, although its price performance has taken a dip recently with everything, it has some interesting ideas. They're a DEX where liquidity providers are rewarded with fees taken from each and every swap. Anyone, you or me, can provide liquidity and earn passive income, which is awesome on DEXs. There's no private investment or VC funding, and tokens are fairly distributed, giving MinSwap a pretty community-centric feel. Data from building on Cardano reported that MinSwap was in roughly 3,000 wallets and had over 750,000 transactions. It's got a long way to go, but it's made a pretty darn good start. SundaySwap is a DEX that lets you provide liquidity and create a market that others can use to exchange tokens. In return, small fees are collected from swappers, giving the liquidity providers a return on their investments as well. They've shown up in roughly 13,000 wallets and have a transaction volume just shy of 1 million. Wing Riders is a DEX powered by Vacuum Labs, which is a fintech development company. They've been building on Cardano since the very beginning, and something interesting here is 50% of its entire supply is being vested across a variety of areas, with the other 50% going to ecosystem development. It's going to be really interesting to see how that strategy plays out. Next up is MuesliSwap, the first native scalable DEX on Cardano that uses Milk as its token. They operate on Milko Media and CowSwap, with ambitions to become a multi-chain DEX on many different blockchains. They take their inspiration from traditional stock exchanges, and this helps provide crypto traders with more advanced features like limit orders, which is rare for a DEX to offer. I like this angle because personally, I think the most value in DEXs will come from taking services in traditional banking, typically typically reserved only for the big guys and giving everyone access to those features. So far, they're in roughly 1,000 wallets and have a transaction volume of around 400,000, but time will tell how wide adoption will become. Now, let's move on to non-DEX DeFi projects. These make up just 2.1% of Cardano's ecosystem, but they have some really interesting potential. The first of these Cardano projects is AADA, whose name sounds like one of those businesses that want to be at the front of the phone book, so they name themselves like AAA Advanced Auto Parts. But anyways, they're a lending platform on Cardano. You can deposit, borrow, make swaps without an intermediary, or use their ERC20 converter, which allows users to migrate Ethereum tokens over. So far, its tokenomics are looking pretty diverse, with the majority allocated to staking, governance, and a private round. At 20,000 transactions, the price has remained fairly consistent over the last month, but like everything in the crypto space, they've taken a large dip since May. Meld is a DeFi banking platform that brings some really cool utility over. They're an open source, non-custodial protocol that allows you to borrow fiat currencies like US dollars or euros against crypto collateral. Of course, this can be risky if you're over leveraged, but it also can be a huge help if you know what you're doing, because you can avoid a taxable event in your crypto gains. In theory, this protocol lets you maintain control of digital assets while giving you access to crypto and fiat transactions. So pretty cool. However, it's all very new and the concept is far from proven just yet. Liquid brings another novel idea. They create money markets with interest rates that are tied to the supply and demand of each and every market. This means when demand goes up, so do the rates, automatically. And this sounds great, especially given how interest rates have helped collapse entire markets in the past. But before we cover even more exciting projects, I need to tell you about today's sponsor, iTrust Capital. iTrust is a company that allows you to put crypto assets into a Roth retirement account, and this does two exciting things. First, it means that if you're a long-term holder of crypto, you can avoid all capital gains taxes on your wins, which is absolutely huge. But it does another thing. I don't think this is talked about enough. See, within a retirement account, you can make trades, and none of those trades are subject to tax on gains. There's no capital gains. This means you can use one of these accounts as a long-term trading account and pay literally $0 in tax on your wins. They'll be linked down below, and if you use that link, you'll actually get $100 in Bitcoin for free for joining. Now, DeFi and DEXs aren't the only exciting projects in the Cardano space. There are some others that account for 5.4% of the ecosystem and just don't fall within a traditional category. Take Charlie 3. It's the first decentralized Oracle network for the Cardano blockchain. An Oracle network is what connects the blockchain to the real world. Let's say a crypto insurance project needed weather data. And Oracle would be the company that sources this data and then provides it to the blockchain. These will only become more and more important over time. Now, Ardana is a Cardano project that aims to be the leading stablecoin and stable swap DEX on Cardano. It's had some notable investors, one of whom was Three Arrows Capital, which kind of blew up the entire crypto space. So we'll have to wait and see how that project pans out. And until then, Anita Bitcoin is a protocol that brings the value of Bitcoin on Cardano and the smart contract platform Ergo. The idea here is Bitcoin holders can unlock the value of their assets and earn income all without third-party involvement. It's great in theory as it helps bring the value of crypto's Bitcoin backbone to Cardano, which could help strengthen this entire blockchain. And lastly, World Mobile Token is a utility token designed to power blockchain-based telecom networks in Africa and potentially beyond. Super ambitious. And if it can see adoption, there's the potential for it to shake up telecom in emerging economies. So these are some of the exciting projects on Cardano. Do they have the potential to get us out of this bear market though? In my opinion, no single ecosystem or project can fix everything. But what I do believe is eventually there'll be a catalyst, maybe a new technology or price action, or maybe even a meme coin that creates a ton of excitement in the crypto space again. And this will start a kind of positive feedback loop, bringing things back to normal, and then eventually into another boom period. All we need to do is keep learning and be patient.